Cheers!
My name is Jess,
My name is Hannah.
and tonight we are sipping tea, we are spilling tea, and we are yapping books, okay?
Yeah.
What we've read recently, how we felt about it, briefly, because there's just so many, and we don't have all night. However, there have been so many books lately that they're worthy of an update.
Yeah, and I also just wanted to do a little bonus episode because we don't have a requested reads for you, and I was like, you know what? I kind of just want to have a chill, cozy vibe. Chat about what we've been reading, give a little update.
Yeah.
So that's what we bring to you this evening. So if you haven't had some tea today, or if you want tea, make some tea, have some tea with us.
Alternatively, hot cocoa, coffee, your bevy of choice. Get cozy with it and enjoy.
Yeah, because tonight we're just hanging out.
So, what have you been reading, Hannah?
That's a great question. I would love to tell you. The most recent read that I finished was Quicksilver by Callie Hart.
I saw this. I'm so excited to hear your thoughts. I've heard good things about it, but I need my trusted source.
Are you going to read it?
Depends on what you say.
Okay, so I'm trying to decide if I should give you spoilers or not.
Light spoilers are okay.
Light spoiler? Okay. So, basically, for anyone who doesn't know, for anyone who's not in the book community online or has not heard of it, Quicksilver is a fantasy novel about a young woman who is a thief living in this very poor part of this desert city where there's like this sort of tyrannical queen, and she rations the water. And so like basically like the closer you are to like the center of this city and like the district that you're in, like it's kind of like the districts in the Hunger Games where like the ones like closest to the capital and everything have more privilege, and then the ones on like the outer skirts are kind of sort of left to their own. And then but this district in particular where are the wards, they're called wards. So this ward where this character is living, there was a rumor at some point that there was like an outbreak of some kind of a disease there. So the ward is quarantined, which is basically like the queen's excuse to basically lock them all in there, of like basically to eradicate the poor. And then she only rations them 6 ounces of water a day per person.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So like, it's like horrible. Like she's in this horrible situation.
Okay.
But she's savvy, our thief. And so she steals water from the underground reserves in like the center of the city. Except one day she gets caught and she escapes, and she steals a gauntlet of one of the guards, and because it's made of like pure gold. And so she takes it because she decides that she can like melt it down and get more money and get water or get whatever out of it, because she's supporting herself and her younger brother and sort of this like father figure. His name's Elroy. I love him. And she takes his gauntlet. Long story short, she gets caught and things ensue. And Miss Ma'am ends up in a different realm.
Oh.
At the Fae.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a light spoiler, but you'll learn pretty quickly that that's what's happening. And you know the Fae are involved because our man Kingfisher, love him. He is in like the description of the book, and he's our other main protagonist, and I love him with my whole heart. But that book was so good. And listen, people who don't like it, 100% I understand. I see all of the things that you're pointing out. You know, the plot's kind of slow to get going. It's a little bit like hard to follow in terms of the world building at first. There's like a lot going on. There's some like character inconsistencies with a couple of the characters of like suddenly they're doing things that would have seemed not like they don't seem like they would do that, but they're doing it.
Mhm.
And things like that. Like, I hear you. Understood. However, I don't care.
That is the best. I love that feeling.
Yeah. However, I don't care because I ate that shit up and it was so good. And the only reason I can't in good conscience give it a full 5 stars is because I am aware of the complaints and they are valid. However, I couldn't, like, it was so good. It was so good. And I listened to the audiobook. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yo, I need to get into this. I listened to my first audiobook this past week.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And okay, so I've been speaking with Michelle quite a lot recently about books.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that was her giving me her Audible login.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
shout out Michelle. What a real one.
yes, she is the epitome of a homie. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so the book that she wanted me to listen to was none other than Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. And if you are familiar with the male narrator, oh my goodness gracious, the girlies did not lie on that one. So I gave it 5 stars. That was insane.
Oh my goodness, wow. I wasn't expecting a 5 stars from you on that.
I've been consistently hooked by dark romance.
Yeah. I knew you would be. This is what I'm saying. You should have just listened to me in the first place.
Yeah. Violence and dick? Okay. So, yeah, that was crazy. Plus the plot? Okay. As soon as it was revealed who had come into her house the second time, I just went, and then, the whole trunk situation with the tape, and I just went, that silly little goose.
I don't think he did that by accident.
I don't think he did either, but I think that he didn't consciously do it on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, there was a moment where he was just like, did I do this because that was just my gut instinct too? But, like, I don't want to believe that. But, like, was it? And, yeah. Because that man will do anything to protect her. So, yeah, that was,
yeah.
What a great intro to audio.
Yeah. Okay, so when you read Quicksilver, you must listen to it on audio.
Okay, well, someone has to give me their Audible again.
You can have mine. I have it. You can have mine.
Okay.
Because
there we go.
The narrator. Oh my gosh. My man, Kingfisher. That voice. Oh my goodness.
Well,
it was
send me the login
so
info.
good.
I'll start this week.
I'll put it in the keep with the passwords.
Beautiful.
It's like 20 hours long.
Yeah, I think Lights Out was something. No, it was like 13, but I read it at 1.5 speed.
Yeah. It's I think it's 20 hours and 41 minutes. This one. Because it's long. It's a thick book. And it is on Kindle Unlimited, but I'm telling you, you must listen to the audiobook. If you're getting into audio, oh my goodness.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. It's narrated by, I think his name is Anthony Palmini. Okay. I will listen to anything he narrates. Okay? I will listen to anything he narrates. Because it was so good. It was so good. And then, like, also the female narrator.
Yeah, I didn't hate the female narrator in Lights Out either. Like, all of the reviews that I heard were all about the male narrator. I want to say his name is like Jacob Morgan or something like that. Let me confirm, because he deserves it.
Yeah, Quicksilver was Stella Bloom. and Anthony Palmini. But Stella Bloom, she did a really good job of bringing the characters' emotions to life. And I feel like the things that are quote unquote wrong with the book, like the things that people complain about, I think they would have bothered me more if I wasn't listening to the audio. But because I was listening to the audio with the narrators, like bringing everything to life and sort of filling in those gaps in the writing with
emotion,
nuance and things you can pick up on, like that wasn't as much of an issue for me. And also I just don't care. Okay, the chemistry, the scenes, the way they interact,
oh my god,
the tension,
chemistry, you're right, oh my god, yeah,
the tension. And then this also, like, it's only ever from the female lead's perspective. Her name's Saris. It's only ever from her perspective, but the female narrator doesn't do any of the men's voices. Like, all the male characters are done by
that's kind of nice. I
Anthony
like that.
Palmini. Yeah. And so
like
they're
that.
all just done so well. And Carrion, oh my god, I love him. He's so funny. He's like a side character kind of, but he's sort of like devil may care and kind of tongue in cheek, and like he's just, I don't know. I just love Carrion so much.
Nice.
Yeah, the way that the audiobook was done as well, I think really added to it for me.
Nice. Well, that'll be next then.
Yeah, you gotta. I'll give you my login.
Yeah. Lights Out was narrated by Elena Wolf and Jacob Morgan. It was a duet. And yeah, those two. Beautiful. Beautiful work. Yeah.
Yeah, I would listen to either of these narrators again, but Anthony Palmini, man. it was...
Oh, can't wait.
You gotta, and then you gotta tell me about it immediately.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. So I've been like very excited about reading, and then also like reading Quicksilver and getting back into fantasy and like the type of fantasy that I like, where it's romantasy, but then there's also like so much lore and plot and things going on. Oh, it was just felt so good. And that was one of my goals for this year, to like get back into like the genres and things that ignited my love for reading in the first place. And so like it felt really good to read a fantasy book and have that feeling again.
That's awesome.
Which also probably influenced like why the rating was so high. But I just loved it. Yeah, I just loved it. It was really good, and it was exactly what I needed. I was looking at Storygraph, and my top genres are fantasy and sci-fi so far this year, which feels really good. I've never had sci-fi as a top genre before, but
that's exciting.
I've been enjoying it.
Oh my god.
What?
My top genres from like number 1 downwards is romance, erotica, horror, and fantasy. I've had a really weird plethora lately of
I am thoroughly pleased with myself.
Yeah, I know you are. That also brings me to a couple others that I need to ever so briefly discuss. And by ever so briefly, I mean they're only about 30 pages themselves. So I've read 2 short novellas in February. And so the first one was called Earthed by Holly Wilde, in which essentially the world is in danger because the Earth is actually shaped very phallically, and essentially humanity has just been blue ballsing it for eons. And so the scientist that figures this out volunteers to get sent to space, turn into a giantess via black hole, and basically milk the planet dry. And so she does. And then also I've read Ghost Raptor Seduction.
No, you can't move past that quickly, Jess. You can't.
What more do you need to know?
Okay, continue.
Ghost Raptor Seduction. Okay.
All right.
By Eden Red. And I have written out a very brief recap on it because it was a book. Okay. a trio of paleontologists get possessed by 3 raptor ghosts, 2 of which were in the midst of mating when a third attacked them. Jealous much. And then an asteroid struck and does what asteroids do to dinosaurs. A witch lives in the woods and found the dino bones dino boning and encouraged the spirits to possess the paleontologists, inspiring a weird voyeuristic group sexy time for the witch to release the dinosaur souls. So that was a weird one. Thank you, Michelle, for that recommendation. Because I may not have found it myself, but I did take it upon myself to take one for the team, read it, rate it, report back. So here we are.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Michelle. It is on Kindle Unlimited.
What did you rate them?
Earthed was 4 stars, and Ghost Raptor Seduction was a whopping 2. It needed some more editing, for sure.
I am less pleased with myself. I've created a monster, truly, and Michelle is just enabling it.
Yeah, you guys are really, like, tag teaming whatever is, like, itching my brain right now, so...
I started it, and Michelle went, bet.
Yeah, she just went, hold my fucking beer. She sent me one screenshot of the cover of Ghost Raptor Seduction, and she went, so this is on Kindle Unlimited, and I went, say less.
Oh my goodness. Like, I'm speechless. Like, I don't have anything to offer
I know.
you. I don't even have a weird book to talk about in return. Like,
yeah, this is why when you said, let's do a reading update, I went, okay.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't actually look at our February wrap-up, okay? I've been busy.
Yeah, oh my God. I've had
midterms.
some weird ones.
Yeah, and you're just posting them full confidence. I love that for you.
Yeah, can't believe I'm really just fully balls to the wall announcing this shit now. But what else did I read? There has to be something normal in this list.
Well, what else did I read this month? I haven't finished much. Like, there was Vicious, which we have talked about thoroughly.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about Life on the Fringe.
Oh yes, Life on the Fringe. Okay, that's an arc that I got from a Readsy Discovery that is self-published on there, and I was to write a review about it. Mm-hmm. And
wait, for the dads that don't know, ARC is advanced reader copy. That's when we get to read a book before it's officially released to the public, and it makes us feel so cool.
Yes.
Go on.
Yes. Yeah. So I got the arc of Life on the Fringe. And oh my goodness. I loved that book. It was so good. It was so wildly entertaining. It was so weird. The world building was insane. There's like all these different planets that we're visiting and like all these different government systems, all these different places. The biology of it, like they go really into the biology of these other creatures and things. And it was just so good and so like vivid. And the writing style was in this like very like matter of fact but very evocative tone, and like the characters sort of fall into these like sci-fi archetypes, but then they go beyond that, and it's just like the whole book is just this debate back and forth between this young man who meets this old man in a bar, and they're sitting at the bar and they're swapping stories about where they're from. So the young man is from civilized space, which is like the sort of futuristic high-tech AI like section of space where there's all these different planets, but they all have these different sort of like hive mind corporate type places. And then there's the fringe, which is this completely godless, lawless, anything goes place on the fringes of the known universe. Mm-hmm. So like that's where all these like crazy planets are, and like these like weird communities are, and different colonies and settlements, and these different creatures. There's a lot of parasites and a lot of like like spores and like that type of like the natural world side of space.
Biology is scary.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's like the natural world side of things, and then it's sort of just like at first it's just a collection of short stories until things start to connect. And then it connects and it leads to this like ending that's so ambiguous. Like the ending is really ambiguous. It gives like okay, this whole book has just been me giving you the context, and now the end, this is actually the beginning. And like you can sort of infer what's going to happen. And so it's really cool. And it just makes a statement because it deals with so many like topical issues, like the rise of AI, the climate crisis. Like the whole reason that we're seeing all these people in space is because the Earth has died and people are trying to flee Earth. And so then it opens up like this whole new universe, but then also at the same time they're still dealing with all of these issues that were relevant on Earth that like and are still relevant today. And so the ambiguity of the ending really spoke to me because that's where we are right now with the world of just like everything is crazy and there's so much going on and so many things that could happen, a lot of them scary. And so this whole book is this debate about civilized space versus lawless space. And also that brings up a philosophical debate about like our situation as humans. And it just talks a lot about like humanity and what it means to be human and like the definition of all those things. There's so many things. Okay. And it was so good. It was such a joy. I really loved it. The storytelling was awesome. So it was just a 5 stars. It was really good, which is a lot more than I was expecting. Like I went into it expecting just like your average sci-fi and it just because it's marketed as like a short story collection, and then you get into it and it's so much more. And I love all the interconnected things and like the like you'll read one story and there'll be like this random offhand comment, and then later on in another story like it comes up again and you're like, that sounds familiar. And it's like kind of like that, and it happens like gradually in a way, and then there's like a plot twist that's nuts at the end. And so it's just it's just really good. I really loved it. I had a really good time with it.
That's great.
So I wrote my little review and I'm very proud of it. And then I picked up another arc from them titled Scrunkle Bunkus and the Magic Fungus, which is another sci-fi fantasy. I'm totally on a sci-fi kick right now. I have no idea why. I've never been a sci-fi person, but here we are because the name caught my attention and and the description is very political. And so it seems like a dark fairy tale version of like the current political climate.
Nice.
I just thought that would be fun. It's like satire, and I really love satire. So I'm excited. That's my next arc. But yeah, the arcs have been like popping off lately.
Yeah. Also take this moment to mention that if you'd like to read Hannah's arc review for Life on the Fringe, Tales from the Frontier by George Allen Miller. Is that his name?
Yes.
Perfect. It is on our Instagram at Badly Annotated Pod. If you would like to read that, it is wonderfully written. So go check that out.
Oh my god, thank you. It's almost like I'm a writer or something.
Crazy. I just went, ooh, free content.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to write. I had a good time.
Yeah, that's a good one. I've got one more book to talk about.
Yes, go for it.
I read one of the books that you actually gave me for Christmas. My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix.
Oh, yes. Right. You talked about that on a recent episode when you were like just starting it.
Yes.
Okay.
So
what are your thoughts?
It is now finished. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. When I first opened the cover to this book, one of the reviews in the front described it as a trom-com. And
what?
That term was in my brain the entire time. And let me tell you, there is nothing more accurate that I could ever say than the fact that it is truly an 80s thriller trom-com, okay?
What is a trom-com?
Like trauma comedy.
Okay.
A traumatizing comedy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's accurate for Grady Hendrix, for sure.
Yeah. And it like, you know, when you watch those movies like It or like Stranger Things, where it like gives you the nostalgic 80s feeling.
Yeah.
It's that in written form, which I've never come across before. And he did it so well. He did it so well. It was so freaking cool to like have that experience through literature. 10 out of 10 in that regard. Loved that.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to tell Anika that you liked it, because she was the one who said to go ahead with getting that one for you, because she's read it.
It was a good one. It was a good pick. I love me some demons. And I definitely called how they ultimately exercised it, but I've just read a lot of demon books, so that doesn't lose points too much.
Yeah.
But overall, I really enjoyed it. I also picked up Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix.
I saw that.
Uh-huh. So I've got them together on my desk right now. Because, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, it's the new release by Grady Hendrix. And it was on sale at Indigo for $20. And your girl had a gift card, so it was basically free because girl math.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Woo.
That's great. Yeah, I'm really glad that you liked it. I wasn't too sure about that one because it wasn't actually on any of your lists, but it looked like
as
your
soon
vibe.
as I saw the cover, I knew I was going to love it.
Okay.
It's got such a cool fucking cover.
It does.
It looks like a VHS tape. Yeah, it even says "Be Kind and Rewind" on it, like a little sticker.
Yeah, that's so cute. Very cool. I also have one more update for you.
You have one more?
I have one more update for you.
Okay, lay it on me.
I'm still reading Twilight. I'm still working through it. And the last scene that I read when I last picked it up was the skin glittering scene.
Does it really glitter?
Yes, it does.
Is it like craft glitter or like fresh fallen snow glitter?
It's a million tiny diamonds was the description.
That's kind of scratchy.
Yeah. Yeah, the scene is like so, like, it's so jarring when I'm reading this because, like, would I say it's a good book? No. Would I say that it's like culturally important? Yeah. Would I say that I'm having a good time? That remains to be seen. The jury is still out on that one. Okay. Because I'm so jarred because like Edward and Bella will have like the cringiest, most stereotypical teenage angst interaction. And like it's insufferable, and Bella's being insufferable, and I hate it. But then we get to the descriptions of like the natural world, like the forest that they're in, and the meadow that they're hanging out in, and the beach where she went with some friends. Like it's very vivid in terms of the natural world, which is really good writing. And so I'm just like so torn and confused because I'm like, this is not aligning, okay? And so, but it's just so. Twilight is just something. Like, I feel like I'm slowly losing my mind, and that's what's causing me to get on board, but I'm self-aware enough to know that that's what's happening. And so then I'm just like, no, I don't want this. But then at the same time, I'm kind of eating it up.
I mean, fair. I'm still not over the lore drop that Edward is a goddamn ginger.
He's a ginger. One of my annotations, like there was one paragraph where he was described as like a Greek god or something like that, and I'm like, and I just wrote in the margins, Greek gods are not gingers. I mean, no offense to gingers. I don't have a problem with gingers. It's just like it was so caught me so off guard because that just does not align with anything
it doesn't
I've
line
ever
up.
Seen. Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, fucking Robert Pattinson as, like, Ron Weasley. No.
I've started picturing Ron Weasley, and that's why, like, anytime there's any reference to his, like, copper hair...
It's just Rupert Grint.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, what are you doing here?
Oh, sir.
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Or there's, like, so many references to, like, Edward's skin. Like, she seems obsessed with Edward's skin, and the fact that it glitters is only making it worse. And so I'm just like, okay, can we please?
Oh my God. I'm also currently reading a book about books bound in human skin.
Oh, God.
Imagine if they used Edward's skin.
Then it would be sparkly.
Sparkly leather.
Oh my God. Okay, we need to stop. This needs to stop.
Okay.
draw the line, okay? I let you have your raptors. Okay. I can't.
Well,
I can't
the
do
skin books
sparkly leather
will be
books.
back one day.
I know. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's my Twilight update for you.
That's
Other than that,
fantastic.
I don't really have a lot going on. Like, I'm still reading The Hobbit. It's very hard to get through. Other than that, I'm reading math textbooks, which is really boring. It's boring.
Yeah.
It's boring to the general population. I'm just a massive nerd, and I'm really enjoying reading about discrete mathematics. So that's all I got.
Yeah. We each have our own flavor of nerd.
Yeah, I think everyone does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's a
Yours
nerd
is
about
numbers, mine
something.
is macabre.
Mine is numbers and fairies, which makes absolutely no sense.
I think mine is macabre and it's also macabre. Just a little more violently.
Yeah, but I've been seriously on a sci-fi kick. Like, it just dawned on me that
I know, I love it. Even vicious.
Yeah, I know. That's what started it, and then I've just been going with it this month. But it just dawned on me that even like in my writing, because I'm currently writing my murder mystery for this Halloween.
Ooh.
For anyone who doesn't know, I write murder mystery parties, and then I have all of my friends come to them, and then I have props, and I graphic design like little character booklets, and everyone gets their character and that they're acting as, and then they all have to try to solve this murder, and I like write a whole story. Anyways, it's a whole thing. I'm currently starting to write it now because it takes a very long time. It's a lot of work, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and it's a sci-fi theme this year.
Nice. Ah, that's so exciting.
Yeah, we're set on a spaceship. It's going to be like a locked door type thing of like, well, we're all
Hell
on this
yeah.
spaceship now, and one of us is a killer kind of a thing, and everyone's going to get a character and a different role, and they're going to have to figure it out. Which was a
Nice.
suggestion from my cousin Rianne, because she's brilliant.
Oh, speaking of family, I have one more thing to mention before we close off.
Okay.
We got an email about a recent read that both of us have read and was even requested. So, this email is from Auntie Cheryl. Not my auntie, Hannah's
My
auntie,
Auntie
but
Cheryl.
my auntie by adoption.
She'll love to hear that.
Yeah, this is me telling her in this moment.
For sure. Everything I tell her about you, like, the more information she has, the more she's like, I like this girl. Like, I like Jess. Like, she's a real one. That's fantastic.
What if she just, like, shuts off the episode after the ghost raptors and never gets to this part?
I'll tell her. I'll tell her what timestamps to skip the raptors. Good God.
So the subject of the email is the yellow wallpaper. Our last requested reads. So Cheryl says, "Hello, Hannah and Jess. I just binge listened to almost all of your podcasts. Got 2 more to catch up fully. Oh my goodness. Thank you. You girls are killing it. I can't wait to see where this takes you to. Every time someone tells me they're binging it, I get a little bit nervous, but also that's so exciting.
I get really excited.
I wanted to read the yellow wallpaper before I listened to this episode, so I did. First of all, how in all of my 60 years have I not read this short story before now? 5 out of 5 for me. Being a woman who has struggled with mental health issues because of the oppression of a man, this spoke to me so vehemently. Go off, girl. Go off.
Hell yeah. Yes.
There is so much more going on in this story, but I'll get into that later. That ending. Wow. I know. After listening to your podcast, I have reread this masterpiece twice. I have found a free copy and have printed it. I'm going to read it a 4th time, and I will annotate it with my thoughts. I have a lot I'd like to share with you. Keep up the amazing work. I'm looking forward to following along on your podcast journey. Take care. Much love and hugs, Auntie Cheryl.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I have to call her.
You too.
Firstly, to like just give her a reply. But also, like, I'm gonna ask her if we can like leave this in because that is so wonderful and beautiful and lovely. Because
Isn't it?
like that's so exciting, and I'm shocked that she hadn't read it. I had no idea that she hadn't read it. To meet my Auntie Cheryl, you would assume that she had.
I love that she read it and then listened to the episode too. Like she went into that with intent, and that is so sweet.
She participated. We love
I'm so
community
touched.
participation.
That's yeah. We got that email an hour before we started recording this, and I told Hannah not to read it because it's like, girl, like just trust me. This is so cute. This is so sweet.
Oh my
I don't know this
gosh.
woman, but I just want to hug her. Yeah.
She'd give you a hug. She's a hugger. My whole family is huggers. I always have to warn people when I bring people home to meet my family because like literally you'll get like, it's like, and my family's huge, so you'll get like 16 hugs in an assembly line as soon as you walk in the door. like they're all huggers for sure.
It's wholesome.
Yeah, it is. I love her. Oh, that's so exciting. I had no idea that she was gonna do that. She didn't say anything to me.
Yeah. So that was a lovely, lovely surprise. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for emailing us. And yeah, I love so much that you participated like that. That was so sweet. And yeah, thank you for telling us.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's so exciting.
Yeah. So if you want to be super cool like sweet little Auntie Cheryl, you can follow us on Instagram or Threads at Badly Annotated Pod, or you can email us at badlyannotedpod@gmail.com, and you can find all of our links via the link tree in our Instagram bio. And with that, bestest of wishes, kindest of regards.
Sincerely, Jess and Hannah.